Hello and welcome to Just Pulled Something. You're here with Ben, also known as SavageMutt, and I'm here with
Johan, also known as DarthMurdock.
And we are here to take a look at the latest upcoming release of Sanctum. This is the beta, which is available on Steam, and we're just going to have a little poke around and have a look what's cooking, really.
Yeah.
So let's, without further ado, head on into hosting the game. So this particular beta is essentially they've given us a lot of new content. There's a whole lot of new stuff, which is nice. We're gonna get into that, exactly what is being released.
Not all available yet, though, but
It's not all available. Yes, they've essentially paved the way to a DLC, which is going to be released within the next couple of weeks, I expect. But we can see all of the things which are essentially coming out. They're kind of teasing us. I expect this DLC will probably be paid for, which I don't know how I feel about that yet. I don't know about you, Johan, but I'm at this stage. For me, it's like if it's reasonably priced for what a DLC would be, then I'd kind of be a bit meh about the whole situation. If it's overpriced, I probably won't be all that impressed.
yeah.
But I think it just sort of remains to be seen. What do you think?
Well, one thing I hope is that Steam doesn't overprice the Europeans and the UK people again.
Oh yes, the whole conversion.
Yeah, they have a habit of overpricing anything that's in Europe.
Well, I guess that just remains to be seen. We're just going to have to wait and see, really. So, yeah, as you can see here, there's the Aftermath as a new map, which is available. Well, not available just yet, but we can see it, and it looks quite interesting. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. One of the major changes, I'm just going to put it on the bridge here, because it's the simplest one. One of the big changes here is the game modes are no longer dependent on the difficulty. Whereas before, depending on which difficulty you selected, you can have a different game modes, a different number of waves. They've changed the infinite mode, which used to be called endless. It's now called survival, and there is no difficulty on that. So it's just a pretty much keep going type thing. So we're just going to, for the sake of whatever, just put on experience 10 waves, blah blah blah, and let's get going into the game. So one of the big things you're going to immediately see here is the fact that you've got this screen that shows, which allows you to select your weapons and towers. What they've basically done is they've changed this whole idea of you join the game and you've got everything available to you, to this concept of you need to, at the beginning of the game, choose what you want to use in your game. So in this case, you can see for the weapons, you've got a list of 3 items on the left, which I've already got selected. And then here's the next one, which is the DLC, which is the shotgun. It looks quite cool. I mean, we can't really show what it does, but it's a shotgun, so you would expect it to fire shot. So, and essentially you have to do is you need to choose which weapons you want. So, I mean, I can't choose the shotgun right now. Obviously, it doesn't let me. So, yeah, so you choose the weapons you want, and the same goes for the towers. Now, this is something that Johan and I were a little bit miffed by, because essentially you are limited to 6 in total for each person. So I can choose 6. Actually, I
technically, you're limited to 4.
Exactly. The block and the televator are given. You can't change that. And you've then got the 4 that you can choose from, essentially, which makes it interesting, because if it's just the 2 of us, right, there's those 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 to choose from, which means we need to choose 2 that we can't actually have at all in our whole game. Because once you've chosen at this screen, that's it. You can't go back and change it halfway through, because we need some anti-air. We just have to make do, which means, so in that sense the balance is a bit strange, because if you've got a 3rd player, you can get all the towers.
Yeah.
But you can't here. So that kind of sucks. That you essentially have to choose 2 which you don't want. So let's go very quickly through what is available. Some here that you'll recognize, which they've basically done tweaking on the actual the damage, the speed, and the range. We're not going to go into too much detail about what's been done there. We're going to look at some of the new stuff. There's the hollow block tower thing, and all that does is that just essentially makes your block see-through with the force field, which prevents units from going through it, but it will allow you can shoot through it, which means that you can get towers to stay behind it, or get better range to hit things more, blah blah blah. The scatter laser, blah blah, mortar, same as before, slow field, same as before, amp field. That's quite a cool one. Essentially, just make sure that what it does is anything that's on it takes a load more damage than it normally would.
It literally amplifies the damage.
It amplifies the damage. It's got quite a cool explanation as to how it does it by loosening up the bindings in the kills. Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed. But it does. The explanation is quite cool. It essentially just makes things take more damage. And then there's my favorite tile, which is called the Penetrator, which is it shoots a concentrated beam of plasma. So essentially, it's like a shooty through everything thing, which is quite cool. So what you typically want to do there is make sure that this thing is going to be shooting in a straight line, and that it's going to hit a load of mobs. Because although it's a very slow speed, if you get them all, if get the dudes all lined up, you can pretty much like send one beam and hit them all. It's not going to kill them instantly, I don't think, but it does damage to all of them in a straight line.
Yeah.
But obviously you want to get a balance, because you don't want to have straight lines, because the runny fast dudes are going to get going to pick up speed, and you don't really want that. So it's all a bit of a balancing.
That's the slow field for. And the amplifier.
Pretty much, yeah. So the Penetrator. Then there's the Lightning, and then Johan's favorite, which is
the Violator.
The Violator, which is another one, which is a new one which we won't be able to show because obviously it's being DLC and everything. And this one is going to be, it's another air and ground one. Quite slow, but it does a lot of damage. Again, we don't know the mechanics of how it looks or what it does, everything. So that's just we just have to wait and see on that one. And then there's the anti-air, which again they've tweaked the damage and everything. Okay, so I'm going to accept this, and we're going to go into the game and just show a little bit about what stuff looks like. Okay, so I can't. I'll have to run all the way around, dude. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, cool. Right, so where are you? Okay,
I'm in the beginning.
Oh, for God's sake! All right, come here. Oh, there you are. I can see. Can I? Alright, I'm actually just going to... See, now, from what you can see here, it's showing me only the towers that I'm able to use. The ones that I selected in my previous screen. So, obviously the televator's there as well, which is exactly what I'm going to do, so I can take a shortcut. Right. So, Johan, if you wouldn't mind putting down one of the amps.
I wouldn't mind, but I have no any cash.
You got no cash left?
No.
Oh, you muppet.
I know.
Okay, well that sucks. Alright, we may have time to actually do a quick round. So let me show you the hollow.
I'm actually curious.
So I'm going to put down a hollow down here, just for the sake of putting it down. And it just makes it see-through. You can't walk through it. You can't put anything else on it. So you can't put a laser on it. One of the interesting things is, because I am the one that put down this hollow, and I'm the only one that's got the hollow on my list, your allies can't upgrade it at all. But
I don't think a hollow can be upgraded in any way.
Okay, fine, a hollow can't, but any of the other towers, at this stage of the game, you can't, like if I'm, you can do that thing where you can complete someone else's build. You can, if you've got enough minerals, money, cash to help. But you can't do that if you don't have it in your list. So let's start the level, so we can actually get you some money, so we can put up an amp. Oh,
Thank you.
Okay, so this is all pretty much the same. There's been some changes to some of the models of the mobs, in particular the tanks and the fall down things. If you don't know what a fall down thing is, then you may want to watch the rest of our series. The floppy downs, yeah, the fall down floppy downs. You may want to watch the rest of our series to see what they are. So, if I can actually aim. So they've also done some improvements to some of the graphics. I would imagine that things are running smoother. It's difficult to actually spot it on my machine, being my PC is quite a beast. Oh, that was quite easy.
Okay.
The bigger they are.
Amplified field.
So there's an amp. So that's what it looks like, and anything that runs on that will get damaged.
25% increased damage. The next upgrade to level 2 is 43%.
Ooh. Now, the interesting thing is, right, if you keep upgrading this one, Johan, you see now on my screen it says he needs 60 resources. I have those, yet it doesn't allow me to do it. So there again, you're very stuck on what you can do.
Yeah, that might be a beta bug though.
don't know. It'll be interesting. This is still a beta, so things could change. But there's some interesting changes. It's definitely forcing you to work together in a co-op environment a lot more. Yeah, I think it's just going to be interesting to see what it does for the dynamics of the game. But yeah, I think those are the main things. I'm just having a look here to see if there's anything else that I've missed. There's been some improvements to the way that you create games. I believe the actual server browsing has been improved, and I believe there was also a problem with inviting friends to join games.
Yeah, during Steam, you can actually invite them now.
Oh, okay, cool. So that's been fixed up nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe that's it. So
I wouldn't mind that they added a ability to remember the last IP address you went into.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think you should email them that, Johan.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. I mean, those are the sort of the main things that have changed. Whether or not this is how it's going to be in the final version, so we're going to have to wait and see on that one. But as it stands in the beta, that's it. Yeah. So as soon as the beta comes out, we'll be doing another video which will include, sort of a more in-depth look into all the new towers, the new weapons, etc. And also, being that that'll be a final version, we'll be able to see more about how it affects the game. So, can you stop jumping around? Because you're making me.
Sorry, I want my jump count up again.
You idiot. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and yeah, see you next time.
Evening.
Goodbye.